Hey guys, Awesome Specs 21 here, your destination for speculation, and we are back with another ranking video of all of the seasons of Ninjago. But this time, instead of doing the pilots through Sons of Garmadon, we're going to do this one's going to be the pilots through Hunted. Also, if you haven't seen where I ranked them last time, you can go. There's a link in the description for you to my other ranking video, and you guys can go watch that first to see where I ranked the pilots through Sons of Garmadon. And because I want this to be different than the ranking video last time, this time I've added a special superlative award that will be showing up on the screen, just to add a little more, pizzazz to the video. So go ahead and take your guesses now where Hunted will end up, and if you haven't seen Hunted yet but you still want to know where I rank it, I'll remember to put a timestamp for you to skip it before I get to it if you don't want to hear any spoilers about it. Okay, so without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now look, I've said it before in my other video, I do not hate Day of the Departed. It's just not as good as what it could have been if it were a full season. It felt confusing at times, it was a way to bring back old villains, I will give you that, and while it was cool to see those old villains again and have one each assigned to each individual ninja, I felt like it would have been a lot better if you had more than 45 minutes to play with, the longer something, that's why the Ninjago movie got so much bad reviews. I personally don't think the Lego Ninjago movie is that bad, but still, there's a reason for everything, and I don't know why this is so short and that the sets barely match up with it. But I felt like it could have been better if it were more than 45 minutes. And if you have more time to play with, you have more time to develop your characters and maybe finally give Cole the spotlight he deserves. And that is why Day of the Departed is at number 11 on my list. Out of all the seasons of Ninjago, season 2 was, interesting, to say the least. I mean, you got the Serpentine tribes who were annoying, if anything. I mean, it wasn't too bad. At least you had diverse villains. You had the return of the Overlord and Garmadon just kind of talking. And those filler episodes, they were still interesting to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong. This season kept me interested, and most of the episodes held my attention better than Day of the Departed did. But it's still down here because I like the other seasons better. I do like the finale of this one, but it's not nearly as great as the finale of Rebooted, which I think that's my favorite finale. We'll get to that later. So yeah, season 2 ends up right here for those reasons I just listed, at my number 10 spot. Next up on my list is Rebooted, and Rebooted isn't a terrible season. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't care that it has 8 episodes as opposed to the now normal 10 or 13. I don't care that this is the second shortest season next to Day of the Departed, if you can even count that, or the pilots. But it's here for a couple reasons. One, I don't like the Technoblades. Two, I really think that the Cole and Nia ship was unnecessary, and why did that need to happen? Well, whatever. Jay's getting married to Nia next season, so... Ha. Anyway. However, the one thing that keeps this season from being my least favorite is probably the finale. I really like the finale because it reflects on everything that happened before the season, and it goes into the next one a little bit. Even though Rebooted wasn't even supposed to exist. And maybe that's why Rebooted... So, in conclusion, Rebooted does have some redeeming moments, but for the most part, it's just not as interesting as the other ones I'm about to list, so that's why Rebooted is down here at number 9. And here we have the seasons that started it all, the pilot season. No, I wouldn't really call this a season because it's only 2 episodes, or 4 episodes, whichever way you watch them. However, the pilot season, it's very good. Like, unlike Day of the Departed, this one actually has good pacing. Like, you could tell where it was supposed to go, and like, even though each of these were like 22 minutes, which is the length of a normal episode, the earlier episodes were a lot well paced, and I just really like the pacing in this one. It goes straight from Kai becoming a ninja, to Kai training to be a ninja, to meeting the other members of his team and defeating Lord Garmadon, or so we think, or whatever. Either way, this series is really well paced, and it's definitely one of my favorites. And that's why it's right here at number 8. Okay, first up, I just have to give it to the writers and well, maybe not the writers this time, but the animators and the people in charge of lighting and sound and just everything to make Sons of Garmadon look as beautiful as it does, because it really does look beautiful. And I'm in this class right now where we're learning about lighting and all of this stuff, and this just looks amazing. Like, the camera angles are all in the right place, and as someone who wants to go into film, I would actually use this as a reference for my own films. That is how good this is in the cinematic elements part. As far as story goes, it's kind of a little bit cliche, but at the same time, it kind of feels more mature for the other audiences compared to the past seasons. And that's a very neat element to it. But for the cinematic elements, oh my goodness, I would say that this is the best cinematically. Cinematically, this is the best season. Story-wise, not so much, but this season definitely looks the best out of all of them. And you guys know me, I'm a big cinephile, so yeah, this season is definitely good for what it is. And I didn't even notice until Hunted came out. And I'll be getting to that very soon. But really, this season just looks beautiful. And for that, it takes the number 7 spot. Okay, now I know a lot of people haven't seen Hunted yet. So if you haven't seen it, you can skip to the timestamp that I have in the bottom of the screen, and just know that it is number 6 on my list. And if you want to hear why, I'm about to explain it, but it does contain a little bit of spoilers, so if you don't care about that, or you've already seen Hunted, you're free to watch, but in case you care, there's the timestamp, and you can skip to that part in the video if you want to skip it. Okay, here we go. So why did I put Hunted right here? You guys were wondering my thoughts about it, and I made lots of reviews for the episode, and then I promised that I'd do this video with Hunted in it. And, you know, I kind of like it the same as Sons of Garmadon, but for a different reason. I thought the Hunted story was much better, and it flowed better than Sons of Garmadon. But the animation, I felt like other than the last episode, it kind of was a step down from the great cinematic elements that made Sons of Garmadon so great. And I think that's what I was expecting to see, and I never saw it. I mean, yes, it did have its moments, like in the Wu scene, and where Wu grows a mustache and a goatee. And in the flashbacks, they were pretty good. But I like the history of Ninjago. I like seeing the Elemental Masters. And I liked the season. I didn't love it as much as the other seasons. But yeah, it was a pretty good season. And that's why I would kind of tie it with Sons of Garmadon right in the middle. Like, it wasn't my favorite, but I didn't, like, it definitely had its good episodes and its bad episodes, and good character arcs and bad character arcs, and Cole finally got some point of development, which I thought was great. And as for the season overall, I thought it was okay. Like, I didn't really care for the Dragon Hunters as villains, but Garmadon, he was an amazing villain in this one, and I definitely think that it brought a more mature element. Like I said, Sons of Garmadon did have very mature elements. But the story in Hunted just, wow. Like, this is not a kid's show anymore. I can't wait to see what the next season has in store, and so far this season was alright. And I can't wait for the next one. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Hunted. Okay, so I put season 1 as number 5 on my list because, wow, is it a great way to start out a season. I mean, this is like one of the best startups that I've ever seen, and I watch a lot of TV, including Power Rangers, so, yeah, this was like one of the best ways to start up a season, with the introduction of the characters in each separate episodes. And some of my favorite episodes are from this season, such as Can of Worms is my favorite episode of all time, simply because of Pink Sane. And can we please get a Pink Sane minifigure, please? Like, please. Please. Okay, anyway, I really like how the ninja all discover their true potentials at different times, and I like how it adds to their character. And shows off what they can do as ninja. And that's why I like season 1, and that's why it goes here. Now, as you guys know, I'm a huge Jaya shipper, so of course Skybound's going to make it towards the top of the list. I'm not trying to be biased here, but Skybound really goes into how Jay and Nia work off of each other, and their relationship, and I really like that because, and Jay is the ninja that is most like me, so I think that's why I love Jay so much, because if I were in that situation where an evil Jin took all of my friends and I had no one to took all of my friends and I was alone trying to get the one who loves me back, and I'm the only one to save him, I would do what he did and round up a few friends of mine and go save the world, because I think that's what I would do in that situation, and I relate to Jay the most, so I think that's why I like Skybound so much, and that's why it's number 4 on my list. What I love about Season 5 is how unexpected it is. Like, you never expect that Nia's going to be the water ninja. You never expect that Cole's going to turn into a ghost, or that Lloyd is going to possess Morrow. Like, all of these, like, unexpected details just bring it in to make one amazing season. The only problem that I have with Possession is that the writers try to pass it off as a Lloyd season, when it should be Nia's season. There's no reason to give Lloyd 4 seasons. Counting season 2, 5, 8, and 9. Technically 9, it's more about Wu, but Lloyd has too many seasons, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, Possession is really great, and it's just really unexpected, and that's what I love about it. So that's why it's at the number 3 spot on my list. And here we have one of the most controversial subjects in the Ninjago timeline, Hands of Time. I, for one, did not think this season was that bad. In fact, I'm willing to overlook the animation for how great the story is, and how it brings the historical elements from Ninjago and put them all in the one season. You get to learn about Kai and Nia's parents, and the story was well paced and grabbed my attention the entire time. I love the fight scenes in this season, especially the one with Kai and his father, and the Crux and Chronix versus Kai and Nia. Like, the battle scenes were really good. I don't know why people hate the season, because it's really not that bad if you're willing to overlook the animation. Then the season really isn't that bad. It's actually really good. So take what I said, watch it again, and come back to me, and if you still hate it, then you still hate it. But still, give the season a second chance, because it's actually really good. Alright, now take the good parts of every season that I just listed, put them all into one season, and what do you get? You get the Tournament of Elements. Now, this is my personal favorite season. It doesn't have to be yours, but this is just mine. And in my opinion, it is the best season. It is well done. The fight scenes are fantastic. The villain is fantastic. Just everything in this season is full on fantastic. I love how everyone gets their chance to be in their own battle, except for maybe Zane. Well, no, Zane gets his chance too. And I love the inclusion of the Elemental Masters, and them actually not being alone in this, you know, because then that gives them like a sense of diversity, which is amazing. And I already mentioned Chen, but Chen was just an amazing villain too, and the Kai and Skylar aspect was definitely something that kept me on the edge of my seat during the entire season. And even though I know what's going to happen now, I still get excited at the finale, because it's one of the better finales. And that's why Season 4 is still my favorite season of all time. Okay, you guys, that was my list of ranking the seasons in Ninjago, with Hunted included. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed it, and of course this is just my list, but if you want to tell me yours in the comments, you are more than free to do that. And a lot of you already told me that you ranked Hunted at the top, but I didn't, so hopefully you guys don't get offended by that, because this list is my own opinion, and you guys have your own opinions too, which I won't hold that against you if Day of the Departed is your favorite, for example, and, you know? But yeah, so, sorry this video is so long, but I figured you guys wanted me to talk about Hunted a little bit, so I did. And I will see you guys next time. Awesome Specs 21 signing off. Bye.